do people wear high heels? This is the story of a delusional sewist. She dreams of making a magical dress made of the finest fabric in all the land. It's a tale of joy and peril, mystery and confusion. Let's join her at the beginning of her journey in the world of fitting and adjustments. Let's have a little discussion about fitting and how I'm going to be trying to do fitting. I'm making mock-ups this year because I want my fit to be really good, and I've been attempting my first ever FBA because I think that's what I need. Watching loads of videos, I have seen that if most of them sort of say the same thing, but if you've got between your high bust and your full bust a difference of over 2 inches, then you need to do an FBA. On other videos I've seen about cutting up here, cutting in from there, cutting from across and all these bits and blah, spreading it all out and whatever. This other little video, because I realised I had a big gapy armhole straight away, showed like quite a quick easy method of how to just move that to the dart. So I thought, oh, I'd try that first. It was it turned into a massive dart, and I was a bit concerned. God, I think I need to adjust the armhole as well, because now the armhole looks as if it's going to be too small, so that will have to be in a mock-up. I'm also concerned that the dart is now going to come too far out and is going to give me a really bad pointy boob, so I'm concerned about that. But I think I need to cut out another pattern piece in paper so that I can see if that is going to happen, and then I need to work out whether to move the dart back, which will then make it a really abrupt dart, so I don't know if that's going to even work. I have never studied pattern making, garment making. I have watched lots of videos about how to adjust things, and it completely makes sense in my head, and watching other people who know how to do it is great. Putting that into practice, however, is a slightly different ball game, and I'm just making it up as I go along, really. I feel like trying to do it has opened a huge can of worms, because then that adjustment is going to then lead onto another adjustment, another adjustment, another adjustment, and there's probably a much simpler option and a quicker option, and one that hopefully doesn't lead on to loads of other things, but maybe it does. That's how you get really amazing fitting clothes, because you have to do all the adjustments everywhere, which seems really long, and I just want to make the dress and have it done. Oh, let's turn this into a fabric mock-up and then see where we are. I think that's probably the best step. Yeah. Eight paper mock-ups, 2 fabric mock-ups, and I'm still no closer to working out how to get this bodice to fit right. So I'm ditching that altogether and going for something completely different. I have watched so many videos about how to do a full bust adjustment, and I actually don't know whether I need to, which is frustrating, and I still don't know whether that's actually right. And what all of the videos say about full bust adjustments is that I shouldn't use the bust measurement, I need to use my high bust measurement. But I did watch a video, an amazing channel that I found. You may know of it already. If you don't, it's Lifting Pins and Needles, and it's fabulous. She explains everything so amazingly, and I really enjoyed the way that she talks through about the processes. And she said on there that if you just take the bust measurement and take off 2 inches, because most commercial patterns are set and made with a standard difference of 2 inches between the high bust and the full bust. So if you take the 2 inches off of the full bust measurement, that should give you what the high bust measurement is, which is what you should then use to pick your size. So based on that, I need to pick, well, annoyingly, it's kind of in between still, so it's not great. My high bust measurement is 38 inches, and then the closest on that is a 14. So for 39, no. Oh my God, this is where it's so confusing. I don't know what to pick. I don't know whether to pick a 14 and then do a full bust adjustment so that it is a better fit up here and then allow for this, or do I allow for this? I am going to cut out a 16 size in fabric. I'm going to ignore the paper side for a minute, and I'm just going to put that straight on. I'm going to do the front and the back. I'm going to put everything where exactly it's supposed to be, and then play around with taking bits in to then go back to transfer to paper. That's what I'm going to do. So our tale has begun with turmoil and despair. And what comes next? A downward spiral into chaos. Luckily, the chaos was documented and available to view here. To sum it up, basically, this process sent me way off track and way off course. I ended up redoing my whole sewing space, not including this setup. This is purely for dramatic effect. And I redid my sewing room. I made 3 other projects to distract myself so that I had a break and a gap from doing this project. But we came back around to it and everything worked out, and this is the rest of the journey. I've realised I've missed a big chunk of filming and what happened with the mock-up, but basically the mock-ups came out absolutely fine out of a bed sheet. I ended up not having to do FBAs, and I just had to grade up a size at the waist only, and it was great. It's come to a very important step in deciding which way each of the colour bits is going to go. I'm going to try and see if I can visualise which way is going to work, because I'm thinking about all the different sections. So this is going to end up next to that bit there, next to this bit here, and then this one will be on the bottom. Oh, I don't know, because that's pretty good too. See, this bit's so important, I think, to how it's gonna visually look all together. So this is, oh, maybe I'll do it with the red here, and then it will be purple on the sleeves. You're a sleeve, you're a bodice. No, and then you're, oh, I don't know actually if that's a good idea. Or it's this pickly, and then balance it out with a big blue. Oh. Oh. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Where are we at? This is inside out, and the reason why I've got this on here inside out is so I can check which pieces need to have edge finishing, etc. It doesn't go into too much detail about that on the pattern. So like the pocket edge, that needs to be finished. This seam needs finishing. I didn't do the bodice lining in the mock-up, so technically the bodice lining will go on and then you would stitch it over this seam. That will be enclosed, so that doesn't matter, on the shoulder seams, and the side seams will be enclosed. The sleeve holes, definitely. Here we are so far on the bodice shell. Oh, the beautiful bodice shell. It's gonna be so lovely. Like I'm so just... My pockets have come out amazing, by the way, on this part. Let me see if I can do a little... No, it's obviously super gathered, but this is the top tier part for the super pocket. Now with the pockets, in the pattern, it tells you to top stitch. I don't like that particular finish personally, so I have chosen to understitch the seam allowance to the lining of the pocket, so therefore there is no stitch line at all on the pocket where it lays, because I think it ruins the illusion slightly, and I prefer the cleaner finish of the pocket. So if you, like me, you prefer that, then go for an understitch on the pocket rather than a top stitch, because that looks pretty cool. Because obviously it's so jazzy. My outfit today, I am trying to cheer myself up. I'm trying to wear something a bit brighter. This isn't something I've made, this is something that I have bought, but I always forget about wearing it and I never feel brave enough to wear it, but I am going to today, and I feel like it is fab. And yes, I'm going to embrace colour more. I'm going to embrace wearing things to make me feel cheery and happy and joyous, even though on the inside I feel like always impending doom. Hooray! We are delusional. Ah! I'm talking about this sleeve issue. So one sleeve is on, it's done. So we've got an elasticated cuff part, absolutely fine, and then a gathered sleeve head part, and then we're all in and joined and okay. Now I've finished the seams on here in an overlocker first, so everything on the inside here is all overlocked. So that part's overlocked, and then like all of this is overlocked, so it's going to all be finished on the inside, which is something we needed to make sure was happening. But now I'm on to something I've never done before, which is doing a sleeve head. So it's in here and it goes inside the shoulder for supporting of the puff sleeve. Now on the pattern here, so obviously you can see kind of they're a little bit more poofy, like the way that they're kind of like sitting up. Now because this is a cotton poplin, it's not super structured, it's quite lightweight, so it means it could end up being quite flat, which is not how I ever want them to look. I want it to be so that it is, you know, nice and poofy. That's what we want on here. And so I'm guessing the sleeve header kind of holds this part up. Look what I've done. Literally have completely sewn second sleeve on inside out. And that was my second time of putting it on as well, because the first time I didn't quite catch anything in. Oh my god, this is long. Stupid sleeves. Both the sleeves are on and the sleeve headers are in. I am super chuffed with these sleeve headers. I've never sewn anything with a sleeve header in before. I'd kind of seen them but not really understood the principle of them, or thought that they would be as useful as they are. They make a massive difference in terms of how... I haven't even tried this on yet. I have not put this on. I do not know if this fits me. I made the mock-up, of course. That fit. So I've held out everything on that mock-up, and I've put all of my faith into the fact that then this has transferred, which is really worrying because I didn't do the mock-up with an invisible zip. I didn't do the mock-up with the lining. I really am scared. I mean, it should, right? Like there should be absolutely zero reason why it hasn't transferred and that it won't fit, right? We're ploughing through. We're going full steam ahead to do this. Now there's one tiny little piece on this zip that I'm kind of just like, because I've chose a white zip because it was really hard to decide on what colour zip to put in because of all the different colours. So I went with white. But the only thing is on this back part where the join is, it kind of doesn't fully go invisible. All of this bit is fine. I can get past that. I can deal with this zipper tab being white, and into the blue section is completely invisible and lovely and fine. But just on this back bottom bodice part, it's kind of slightly visible. And part of me is really tempted to get a fabric pen in that colour and try and disguise it. But I have a feeling that will probably make it worse. So I think I'm just going to have to let it go. I'm going to have to just deal with it. I think out of everything else that there could be, I'm gonna have to just, I don't know, I really hope that doesn't happen, but it's on the back. I'm just gonna have to ignore it and just be like, oh well, it's fine, the rest is amazing. So I just need to put the bottom tier on, and then this is where all the gathering's gonna happen. Loads of gathering. The thing I find really odd about this pattern, I don't know why it's been constructed this way, but the bottom tier is in like 3 sections, which is a bit odd. So you've got this part, so this will gather up and fit into this section in here, and then this will gather, and then this kind of, but then there's like a join here. And I don't know whether that's intentional because of it being like on the fold, and that you wouldn't maybe be able to get a bit on the fold that long. I mean, that seems reasonable enough to have been able to have cut in one piece. And then decide if I'm doing the extra ruffle. I do not know. This obviously is the mock-up. And this was the extra ruffle added on the end, which I feel like really makes it. I don't know. Let's do this tier first and then we will see. Okay. I can't believe it's done. Finally, after weeks and months, it feels like she's finished. And I adore her. I'm so chuffed that it's come out as amazing as it has. My earrings have fallen out already. I don't know how people wear high heel shoes. I used to. That is not life anymore. I will be wearing these with trainers or flats. This is for a wedding. I have a wedding at some point this year. that I will be wearing this for. I think I'm going to have to look at getting some flat shoe options. I am not wearing heels. I have done that purely for the visual, for photos and video. Don't expect to see me in heels anytime soon. Thank you. Officially flat shoe crew. This video's been a bit mad to film. I'm really pleased with the outcome, but the way that the structure went for filming this and the process and the completing of it has felt like a puzzle. Very fitting for this fabric choice, I feel. I'm a bit sad about there is not 100% absolutely amazing fit issues. We do have 2 drag lines kind of around this area. It might just be that I need to put the boobs up a little bit more and wear something a little bit better in that area. But sleeve headers are a game changer. I love sleeve headers, like inside here, they work really well. I'm going to be adding them to every puff sleeve I ever do because they make such a difference with how this sits out on my shoulders. It's fabulous. The extra frill on the bottom I had to do, and after much debate for the colour, I felt like the purple needed to happen to tie it all in because it wasn't just enough with the sleeve, so I had to put the purple frill on the bottom. I think that was the right choice. It really brings it all together a little bit more, like all the different colours and things like that, which is fab. It's comfortable, it doesn't feel like it's tight anywhere. Like the sleeves, I've got full movement in. It's nice and snug and shapely in places that I want it to be, which is great. And the rest of it, yeah, it's like it's acceptable. Like I'm not mad at stuff. The zip, I think, probably comes out a little bit more visible in places, like the white zip, but again, I'm not particularly that fussed about it. My husband made a comment about how neat it was, which was very nice of him. He was like, usually your zips are all over the show and they're a little bit and they're not great. So that's winning in my eyes as well, which is fabulous. And yeah. Amazing, amazing, amazing. She is stunning. I can move on in my life now onto something else because I feel like this has consumed me for quite a long amount of time. And I'm ready to go on to other things. That was a roller coaster of a journey to finally get an amazing outcome, and I'm glad it was an amazing outcome in the end. I would have been so disappointed if it had been bad. Thank you for watching my fun, crazy sewing journeys and projects. Please subscribe. It is so amazing how many people are still watching and still enjoying the things that I'm doing and trying to involve people in and sharing my fun journey of sewing craziness. This dress brings me so much joy because of the colours and the pattern and how beautiful it is. If it inspires you to make one as well, that is amazing. And yeah, let's go to the next project already. See you soon.